Today I'm going to be painting something like this. It is Prince inspired, so it's mainly purples, and there's some white and some gold highlights on there. So if you're interested in seeing how you can make something like this, then keep watching. Okay, so right here I'm using my biggest wooden dowel, and I just put a little bit of paint on the end, and I just make sure that it's evenly coated. And then you really want to find your center. It's very important to get a good start right from the beginning. And these are just crochet hooks. They're Susan Bates. I found those at, I believe it was Michael's Crafts. And I just make a dot on each line. And then I make a dot in between each of those dots. And I just use an old paint rag that's wet, and I just clean my tools off with that, and it just helps to make things go a little quicker. These paints you can find at Walmart. They're pretty inexpensive. Most of them seem to work pretty well, coverage-wise. And then I'm just going on the outside of each set of dots with just a slightly bigger tool. Again, it's a crochet hook. You just really want to find something with a flat bottom. That's the most important thing. And what I'm doing, you can't really see it too well because of the lighting. I'm just gradually making the color a little darker purple. You'll be able to see it better in the final product than while the recording is going. Again, a wooden dowel, just it's the next size up that I had. That's all I really have to use, and it works pretty well. And just a little bit of a darker purple, I'm going to just add a little bit to the light purple that I'm using, just to make it a gradual color change. I wrote numbers on my crochet hooks just so I can easily find the next number up or down. I think that helps. Again, making it just a little darker. And I'm using the smallest crochet hook. And I'm just going in between some dots there. The big row right underneath the big row there. And these are dotting tools. They are for nail stylists. Really little balls on the end. The tip I was showing you there is I used a needle, sewing needle, and I just stuck it down in there That's for very, very fine points. That's what I use at least. It seems to work pretty well. And I'm just going to go around each of the bigger dots with the biggest dotting tool that I have. And then it will walk down in size just all by itself. There. And then I hit that same big dot over again, and then I go down on the opposite side. And the dots just get smaller from the ball. You don't have to keep redipping, which is really nice. And it's a really nice effect. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of blue. It just kind of gives the colors a nice pop, the purple. I don't do a ton of blue, I just do a little bit here and there, as you'll see. And I didn't want it too blue. And that particular blue is called peacock blue, and it's pretty bright. It's a deep blue, but it's a bright, almost like a cobalt blue, which I love actually. I just wanted to tone it down a little in this particular painting. And now I'm just going to go around the smaller dots and between the bigger dots. And I'm just doing the same thing that I was doing with the bigger dots. I start in the middle and walk it down on one side, and then I walk it down on the other side. And we go around that outside circle with white. And I'm not going to use the dotting tool because I don't want it to walk down in size. I want it to be a consistent, small, round circle. So I'm just starting at the lines and work my way around to either side. And I just work right out of the lid. I find you get a lot quicker at this repetitive dotting, especially when it's just over and over and over the same thing. Once you've done a few of these paintings, you kind of just, you get that muscle memory going. And it just is like boom, 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 boom. You can pretty much bust it out fairly quickly. I mean, these things do take a while. I mean, they're not just minutes long. You know, the projects take hours sometimes, days sometimes, the bigger ones. But it's so relaxing, and I just love it. And I'm going to start doing the tops of the petals, and I'm just going to do the tippy top and then I will work my way down in size. And that's just the bluer shade. Again, I'm going to use that. And that's just a smaller, the next size down crochet hook that was in that set. And you just go on either side of the main dot there. And I'm going to go down in size again and go on either side of those dots. I do lots of different styles of these paintings, the mandala paintings. I'm really interested in seeing what people want to see. If you don't mind, if you like these videos, if you would leave me a comment and let me know what you would like to see next. I enjoy showing people how to do this. My kids do these. They all turn out just beautifully. They're great gifts for people. With the holidays right around the corner, it really works out good. And there's nothing better than a personal handmade gift for someone. You know what they like, you know what colors they like. And it's just a nice gift. Alright, that was the last dotting tool of the crochet hooks that I was going to use. And now I'm going to start with the actual little nail stylus dotting tool. And I'm just going to walk the dots all the way down to the end of the petals. And then I just repeat these steps with a lighter shade of purple. Okay, I'm going with the bluer before I switch to the lighter purple. And you start with the biggest dot that you feel like you should use there in that inside area, and then you just go on either side of that dot with a smaller tool, and so on all the way down, just like the last petal. And there, grab the stylus again and walk them down. And then back with the purple. And then that way it's not too blue and it sticks with the purple theme that I was going for, but yet it gives it a little bit of a more of a vibrant effect. You'll see it at the end. It just looked like a neat combination. And you can just totally avoid the blue if you choose to do that also. I mean, these things really don't turn out bad, any color you choose. And don't panic if you mess up. And don't be too hard on yourself if you mess up, because most likely you'll be the only one that sees it. I sometimes can be too critical of my own work, and I am just realizing that it isn't that big of a deal. And on the two petals in the middle there, they will not get the dot. They are just closer to the circle. So the outside petals will get a dot, and then I'm using a gold. Well, this is the gold highlight that I use. It is a small jar from Walmart. I think I got it in a pack of, I don't know, I want to say 16 or something little jars of paints. This is almost gone. You can see how much I love it. A little bit goes a long way though, so you'd be surprised. But this is some great paint. I add it to highlight. I'm just going to highlight the inside of the circle on some of those center circles. Need to buy me some new metallic paint. It's almost gone. And I'm using the biggest dot stylus that I have. Yeah, I think I got those on, I want to say eBay. It could have been Amazon. But those are really great little tools. The reason I was able to stick a pin in the a needle in the end of that one is because it didn't have anything else on the other end. And it was kind of like just asking me for a small tool, and I was able to, it was a softer wood, so I was able to get it pushed in there far enough so I can use it. There I'm just using a medium-sized crochet hook and putting a gold accent dot right in the middle of the white circle dot. And I'm showing you that little needle, and you get the tiniest little dot, and I just go in halves and then in quarters and then in between those dots. A lot of this stuff is just eyeballed. But you've got the guidelines to help also, which is great. Now that's a smaller stylus. And I'm just going to put dots around the edge of that white circle. And it's just however many you like or whatever you like. Yeah, now this video is sped up. This took me, I believe it was about an hour and a half to complete this one from start to finish. And then I'm going to put a dot on top of each of those dots. The purple dots inside of the petals, and I'm going to walk around with the stylus, and that's with the gold accent paint. And the outside ring I am accenting with gold as well. I start in the center, the biggest dot. It's the biggest stylus tool that I have again. I start right in the middle and then I walk it down on each side of that. And then there's some spots where that ring doesn't really show, so I just left those blank. And I'm going to go with some white, nope, some light purple. Right on top of the gold and around just the same way that I just did the gold. And I'm leaving out the two center circles in this step. And some white. And some white. And I'm going to go right around that outer ring with white. And that's with a pretty small crochet hook. Not the smallest, but it's not the biggest. It's somewhere right around the middle. And the white, I think, just pops. And that little jar of purple there, that was in that same little kit that the gold and the metallics came in. And that was a kit from Walmart. I'm not sure the name of it. I can leave that in the comments though if anyone is curious. And I'm just going to go right around the white in a smaller dot. Just one step down from the last the crochet hook that I just used. And finally that light purple, and it'll be a bigger crochet hook, will go around that darker purple that I just laid. And I'm going to go back with some gold. Just some final touches here. Felt it needed just a little bit more gold and shimmer. And I'm going to go with that straight peacock blue with that stylus and walk them down on each side. Now, of course, you need to let this dry before you remove any of the guidelines that you can still see. Acrylic paint dries pretty quickly though, and you can always throw it under a fan. And then I'm going to go around the blue with that lighter purple. And then I'm just going to highlight those dots on the petals. It just kind of gives it more of like a 3D look. I try to go with a shade that is the same as the dot itself. I just go a shade lighter or two. And I don't do them all, I just do a few rows. It really, really looks nice when you do it. And again, I'm going on the inside towards the center of each dot. I try to go on the outside one. You can't see it very well there. And just the little dots there and the center petals, I give a little gold highlight to. And that, folks, is it.
Again, so here's the finished product. What I did was I just let it dry, and then I took a wet Q-tip and went around and got the white guidelines off. So that's it. I hope you like it. If you do like it, please hit the like button, and if you have any suggestions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments. And of course, I welcome new subscribers. So see you next time.